where we always have a special guest. And tonight is no exception. Today we will make a trip to the future. For that, we are accompanied by three unique personalities who will tell us what awaits us in the future. They are the geologist Greta Corro, the engineer Sergio Greta, and the sociologist Walter White. Good evening and welcome. How do you feel tonight?
Good night. I'm pretty good. It had letters, less better than our planet lady.
Good night and thanks for your invitation to the Castro show. I never seen loud.
Good afternoon and thanks you for the invitation. But I have one question. Do you think because of glasses the water here?
No, unfortunately, we don't have the budget for these first world luxuries. But let's start with the first question. How prepared will be in the future to face natural disasters or diseases like COVID-19?
Well, according to the statistics, it seems to me that the planet thanks to the COVID is recovering a little. Since with its crazy the use of many harmful foods for the earth, I can assume that another pandemic will do the earth's structure good, but not us.
So we separate the after thanks to the programs more effectively. As here was the milestones of the study of the field of the center. Consideration that technology is on the rise new techniques for even the observation of stunning. Protein infection caused and protein and fluid solutions of center and natural center. Even today are a ready way to present of minimum demonstrate some scientific sure in the future, whereas the new was to the will and different situations.
It's quite a interesting question, and probably not. Science and technology advance at a radio scale, but how mentally prepared we are to face some shock and big changes of this. I think ever later, even with the COVID-19, is people will not have the world to prepare it. From time to time, will be unlike it, but every questionable.
Quite interesting what everyone thinks about it. Now, more generally speaking, how do you think our planet will look in the future?
Well, I think go on as they are now. With the concentration of the non-renewable matter, I don't see we'll last more than 100 years on this planet. But looking with a little more optimistically, it will be like a futuristic movie with cars playing and teletransportation and stuff like that.
And where you can serve the person of your responsibility, the fields when and the range there are the things advanced compatibility and line information with robots of the one. To imagine moves. It was the or space will become interplanetary because of the advance to other possibilities events is in war. Since the war become power, called the space of the everything and events of the special could become extinct.
The changes of the habitat of society and things we were gone wrong of only by the above changes of climatic of but before the people we have a conflict with and the robot war. I also think the possibility and nuclear war and terrific me. The technology is good and very useful. as long and handling of correctly.
When you were children, how do you visualize that tomorrow will be?
When I was a child, I dreamed that we human beings will move away from the Earth and go to a new planet where we will see a new forms of life and adapted that to that new reality. More or less like an Avatar movie. That was my wish for tomorrow for the Earth when I was a child.
I'm imagining the future with a world for the technology, with a spaceship, energy weapons, to the hope in imagines is the science movie like Star Wars or like in Terminator.
I always dreams and look to the other planets or about the civilization because believe to them more lives than all. And so the more and will be more intelligent than us. Maybe he dreamed that they had less contaminated planets than ours.
I think we all had a very particular imagine of the future when we were children, but comparing it to the present, it doesn't look like anything. Currently, there are more problems than progress. What actions do you think we can start to take so that we have a better future?
The use of alternative energies will be a great improvement for the planet, along with the use of renewable and environmentally friendly products. Something I like is that become fashionable to use non-polluting products for daily hygiene. It's a big little step to save what's left of the planet with inhabit. We inhabit.
To be with the work be necessary to change people mentality in order to they have to something for a future. If the same were in the world, be necessary to look of where the heat, energy not so hard. I think a good alternative work to the consideration going on colonization after planets and letting or prepared is where was something similar to the happening with the pandemic.
I was in an able to talk about this use, holding the power, and to go to the bright of the future with a need support of all that able to the education the future generation of stand both alive, not the volume of self him. Something similar that's happening with the pandemic.
To conclude, I would like to ask you if you believe that in the future trips to other planets could be made and how this would affect society.
I'm not informed of that subject, but I know. Voy a volver a iniciar. Sergio, corriges eso. I am not informed on that subject, but I know they are preparing for us for the trip to other planets and especially to visit to Mars. I cannot think that will be love to study more closely the torus structure of the planet, since it's to commit to that a human he can call life in the without so many problems and we call adapted to survive.
Sorry, yes. With regards to the tuning the limit of technology, I might be in the field where see can go to the outer planet on something normal, and the for society won't be something interesting to see. We can see into even the after of the moment, new space and worldview, and the impact of society. How become the coexist became space is a mystery between something what walking mark and before of the after.
I think about the technology as ready to the advance of incredible rates and not only space travel, but often technology in terms of medicine around smooth cleaning. That's still a very expensive, rare theaters. I will definitely the sociology classes. Science, the right importance people we go to the space. While the majority of population and remain as we are.
Thank you so much for coming today. Your answers were very important to think a little about our future and work on it. We hope to have them in some future show. We also thank you very much. The audience can watch the program. We hope it was to your liking and that you can join us tomorrow in the same place and in the same time.